I've got one meeting to tell you about, and it's not what you're thinking, even though it's every first Wednesday under the sun. Stick with me and I'll tell you. I've got some fundraisers to mention. It's convention week, and Federation Focus is on for the week of June 29th, 2026. Hey there, PA Federation family. My name is David Goldstein. I am your first vice president. Thank you so much for joining me on this very special episode of Federation Focus. And welcome inside Studio B. Still a lot of junk to my right. Your left. The meeting that I'm going to tell you about is not Coffee with the President. Do not show up at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday. No one will be there. We will not be there. Lynn is already off to Austin. She is traveling. She's driving. Everybody will be getting an early night's sleep to travel the next day. So no Coffee with the President this month. So what meeting am I talking about, you ask? I'm talking about our caucus at the National Convention. That is where the National Federation of the Blind of Pennsylvania has an hour to talk about what's going on within the affiliate and things that are coming up, like state convention and things like that. Now, the date for that is July 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you're in Austin, that's 5 p.m. You've got to show up to room 305, 5 p.m., room 305 at the JW Marriott. I don't know where that is. We'll find it together, hopefully. 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. on Zoom. Now, fingers crossed that we are able to do it via Zoom. The link in One Tap Mobile are below, but if you forget or you don't have the email or YouTube on you when you want to join at 6 p.m. on Sunday, July 5th, just remember this, NFB of PA.org/Austin, AUSTIN. How easy is that, right? NFB of PA.org/Austin. I hope you can join us. I hope you can join us. But we will try to make it happen. We could use our phone. We'll see how it goes. But fingers crossed, we will be able to have that on Zoom on July 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. For those of you in Austin, that's 5 p.m. Central, and that is in room 305. I will not say worldwide, although I really want to. And I guess I just did. Now, there are a bunch of fundraisers happening. Let's briefly touch on the chapter ones coming up in October. We've got Dancing in the Dark to be Dancing in the Light. Happens on October 10th at the Northampton Country Club in Easton. If you've got questions about it, reach out to Greater Lehigh Valley Chapter member Jemmy Jones. Her email is down below in the description. Reach out to her if you want to attend. There is a discount if you are a National Federation of the Blind of Pennsylvania member. I am going. I know Kenny has expressed interest in going. Let's get together. We'll drive up together because it's not around the corner if you're in the Philadelphia area. We'll get together, we'll go, and it'll be a great time. It is always fun. I've gone the last couple of years. A lot of fun to go. Also in October, a little bit later in the month, and this is going to kind of piggyback on the other fundraiser I'm going to mention in a second, the Greater Philadelphia chapter is having a cabaret fundraiser. It's $40. You must see a member of the Greater Philadelphia chapter to get your ticket. $40 gets you in the door. There's more information down below that you can read about it. But within that, they have signed up, as has Keystone chapter, they have signed up for the Coast to Coast Movement Challenge. This is so important for all of our chapters and divisions to sign up. If your chapter or division hasn't signed up, come up with some sort of movement. I don't care if it's yoga in the park, cornhole, you're going to play pickleball together. Is there blind pickleball? Because I got to be honest with you, I would love to play that. Something. Come up with something. Within the Greater Philadelphia chapter cabaret, they're going to have a last man standing dance-off. That sounds like a lot of fun. The chapters are asked to raise $250. There is a link down below that you can go and support both chapters, both Keystone and Greater Philadelphia. We had a meeting on Friday with some folks from National, and I was told if you put both chapters down, so you would put NFB of PA, Greater Philadelphia chapter, Keystone chapter, they will split it. They did mention, do not put Greater Philadelphia chapter 17%, Keystone chapter 83%. They're just going to cut it. If you put 3 chapters down, they're going to divide it by 3. And at this point, I don't think any other chapters or divisions here in the Pennsylvania affiliate have signed up. So what are you waiting for? Come up with something, a virtual walk. Jigsaw, you could do a virtual walk, and you just need your phone on you. Walk around your backyard, walk around your neighborhood, and try to get to a certain number of steps for all of you together. That's all that you need to do. It's very, very easy. Erie, you have something coming up in September. Just use that as your fundraiser and try to raise money for the national organization that way. It takes about 3 minutes to sign up. nfb.org/movers is where you'll find the link to sign your chapter up or division up. Noor, I'm talking to you. You can go there and sign PABS up, figure out something, go over there and sign up so we can get more of our chapters and divisions registered there. Right now, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's only Keystone and Greater Philadelphia. Now, next week, I have something special about what Keystone is doing, so stand by for that. Fingers crossed that that all goes well. Because, again, I will be in Texas next Sunday, but you'll have to tune in on Monday and see what happens. And I am shooting this on Sunday night, which is early for me. Usually I shoot it on Monday morning. Now, there's more information about the Philadelphia Marathon, which we're still looking for runners for all 3 races. There's an 8K, there's a half marathon, and there's a full marathon. We have 10 spots in the 8K and 20 each for the half and the full. Rachel Held is who you need to speak to or email. Her information is down below. I have erroneously been telling you not to bother her until after National Convention. Reach out to her whenever you want. Someone will get back to you, whether it's her or Patty Chang. Somebody will reach back out. But we are looking for runners. Again, 50 total spots, 10 for the 8K, 20 for each of the other 2 races. It's November 21st and 22nd. We're also looking for volunteers on the 20th at the Convention Center from noon to 9. And then on the 21st and 22nd of November, we're looking for volunteers for the routes of the races to cheer the runners on, to hold up signs and things like that. If you are interested, whether you're in Greater Philly or you're in Keystone or you're one of the other chapters that are fairly close and you want to participate helping out, please reach out to me or your chapter president, and they will get in contact with me and we'll figure out exactly what is happening. But it's going to be a lot of exciting stuff going on in November. We've got the state convention, which there's information down below, and we've got the Philadelphia Marathon weekend, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Really, the races are only the 21st, a great day, and the 22nd. Now, I mentioned National Convention. It's coming up this week, the 3rd of July. A lot of us are traveling out on the 2nd of July. I know I'm leaving very early on the 2nd. You can still go. You can register on site, grab your plane ticket, call and get your hotel room at one of the Marriott properties that are part of the pricing. You can go to nfb.org/convention. There you'll find all the information, the code you need to give when you make your room reservation. If you think that's a little too much too soon because it's just a couple days away, you can sign on virtually. The link is down below to sign up. It is $10. You get use of the app, which is fantastic, and you are eligible to win door prizes during the times they give door prizes out. That is always a lot of fun. And so sign up if you're not going to be in Austin. You could sign up virtually. Talking about National Convention, the Pennsylvania Association of Blind Students last week did a Convention 101. They grilled Lynn, myself, and Harriet about what to do, what to see when you go to National Convention, how to pack for it, what's the clothes that you need to have. My number one suggestion, by the way, is to have something warm because that hotel is going to be freezing. Air temperatures in Texas over the weekend are supposed to be about 100, not too dissimilar from Philadelphia, but it's going to be cold inside there. Make sure you have something, a hoodie, a blazer, whatever. But we talked about that and a lot of other things. You can read more about Convention 101 over at whitecanesconnect.com/155. You can also listen to White Canes Connect 155 over there. But because it's convention week, I've got the video. It is going to be immediately following me once I finish with Federation Focus. So I don't know why I'm continuing to talk. So let's get through it. Let's go build the National Federation of the Blind of Pennsylvania. I'll see you in Austin. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around because here comes Convention 101 with Noor Khraisat, Leen Khraisat, and Daud Yasar from the Pennsylvania Association of Blind Students. Thanks again for watching. Safe travels if you're going, and I'll talk to you next week.
Good evening, everyone. I appreciate you all for joining us. This is really exciting. I'm really excited to see most of you actually for real in person next week. If you don't know me, I'm Noor Khraisat, and I have the immense honor of serving as the president of the Pennsylvania Association of Blind Students. And we thought to put on this exciting call because for some of us, we're probably seasoned convention goers, but the rest of us, our first or second time, we really don't know like the ins and outs of everything yet. So we thought to kind of get an opportunity to just hear from others. And I will turn it over to the rest of my board to introduce themselves. If we can go to Leen.
My name is Leen Khraisat, and I am the vice president of PABS. This is my first time serving. I'm very excited to be here today.
Awesome. Hey everyone, I'm Daud. I am the board treasurer of the Pennsylvania Association of Blind Students, and it's also my first time serving.
Awesome. All right. And there is honorable mention to our amazing secretary, Rose, who is unable to join us tonight. But yeah. All right. We will ask you to save all of your questions to the end, and we will go ahead and get started with our first panel. And I have the honor of asking those questions to Lynn Heitz. So, Madam President, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Lynn Heitz. I have the pleasure and honor of being the president of the NFB of Pennsylvania. I was elected in 2017, so I'm coming up on 10 years.
Well, we are very thankful for your leadership and everything. But about convention, I guess my first question for you is, for someone who's never been before, how would you describe like what the NFB convention is?
So the NFB convention is a gathering of blind individuals from across the country. It is the body that determines what the pathway will be for the convention going forward, or for the national board going forward for the next year.
That was a really concise explanation, better than I could have done. And what are some like must do things? Like this is definitely like broad scope, but for someone who's never been before, what are some things that you would highlight like that are must do and that like make convention such a must attend event?
So if you're a first time convention goer, the first thing you need to do is attend Rookie Roundup, which is the first evening of the first night of convention, first day of convention. You also need to attend the resolutions committee meeting. You don't have an opportunity to vote or to say anything during this meeting. You will during general session when these resolutions come to the membership to decide whether they want to vote them up or vote them down. The next thing is obviously the board meeting. General sessions are also extremely important. The banquet speech, and the awarding of the national scholarships to those finalists happen at the banquet. It wouldn't be convention if you didn't spend time at the exhibit hall. It's really amazing. There's a lot of technology that you get to try out while you're there. Also, each affiliate has an opportunity to have a table at the exhibit hall, and they bring some unique things from their state to sell as generally as fundraisers.
Once again, I love the total, just how concise and all encompassing that was. As a quick follow-up though, could you tell us about the like the state caucus for Pennsylvania? Like what does that look like? Why is that something that affiliate members would be interested in attending?
The caucus is going to be July 5th at 5 o'clock in room 305. And what we will do during the caucus is we will spend a little bit of time reviewing the resolutions that were talked about during the committee meeting the day before and see what questions people might have. During the time that the resolutions are brought before the membership, if the voice vote is really close, it then goes to the membership, and each delegate has to then go to a microphone and vote the resolution up or down. So what David and I will do is we will poll the individuals who are sitting in our delegation and ask them, do you want this to go up or do you want it to go down? And whatever the majority is what I will go to the microphone and vote. It's not what I personally want the resolution to be. It's what the membership in attendance wants the resolution to do. So it's really important that, you're at general session so that you can, have a voice in what happens regarding the resolutions. We'll also have some updates on state convention by David. And David will also talk about how our table is doing at the exhibit hall. And, it'll be a chance for us to meet those who are first timers and, new members to the organization, which is really, really awesome. Also, hopefully people will have gone to registration by then and gotten their banquet tickets. So generally, people who attend from Pennsylvania, we all like to sort of sit in the same general area. So David will collect your banquet tickets and he will take them to something called banquet exchange. So, Noor, do you want me to go into all that right now?
I mean, sure, feel free.
So when you register and you purchase a banquet ticket, you've purchased a meal, but you do not have a place to sit and eat it. So when you give your banquet ticket to David, he will then go to banquet exchange and he will exchange it for a table and a chair. And then we will redistribute those tickets during general session. So it's important that you come to general session so you can get your table number and your chair number for where you're going to sit to eat your banquet meal. So there's generally 10 chairs at each table. So we try and put chapter members together with chapter members. Hopefully we do have a scholarship finalist this year. So, hopefully he will be seated with us as well. And yeah, so it's really awesome that we all sort of get to sit together.
Again, incredible recap. And I agree. I think banquet was one of my favorite things last year, just like getting to sit with the affiliate. It's like the end of the whole thing. You get to catch up with people and you listen to an incredible banquet speech. It's just a grand time. The food is a different story, but the experience is amazing. My final question is kind of just another kind of overview one, but for someone who's never gone before, what kind of things would you say that they can get out of national convention that they really can't get anywhere else?
One of the things that they can get out of being at national convention that they can't get anyplace else is the realization that losing vision isn't the end of the world. They will get to have the opportunity to meet people from all over the United States who are in different phases of accepting their vision loss. They will also have the opportunity to meet with those who, have, accepted their vision loss as part of themselves and have the opportunity to, talk with them, individuals who, maybe have been successful in employment or have retired from employment. Um, people who have gone through college and as a blind person, um, share experiences, feel comfortable asking those questions that, you might not want to ask somebody else. Most people who are blind are very happy to share themselves with individuals who are just experiencing vision loss and not quite sure where this is going to take them. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for them to understand that low vision or blindness is not the end of the world. You can still be successful and, you can still be a productive member of your community and society as a whole.
Wonderfully put. I think my first convention was last year, and that was definitely a really big takeaway for me as well, was just like seeing that everything that I ever planned about or dreamed about doing, someone else was doing it already. So whether that's like being in college, being employed, having a family, like all that stuff, a lot of someone's have already done that. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So thank you so much, Lynn. Incredible answers and incredible leader as always. Um, I will now turn it over to our incredible VP of PABS and VP of the affiliate, Leen and David.
First of all, thank you, Lynn, for your answers, and thank you, Noor, for the very well thought out questions. And I 100% agree with everything Lynn says. So now, my first question to you, David, is what are your must pack items for the convention? I guess shifting gears to less of a very deep topic, I guess.
Right. It's funny that you talk about what to pack. I was on a call earlier today with some folks from National, and they were saying, "Oh, did you pack yet?" No, I don't have enough clothes. If I pack them now, I won't have anything to wear until I leave. So for me, one thing, make sure if you run cold, because it's going to be hot in Austin, but it will not be hot inside the hotel. So make sure you bring a hoodie, a blazer, something to keep yourself warm, or stop by our exhibit hall table and buy one of the crocheted shawls that Lynn has made. So that is something that I would absolutely recommend. It is going to be cold in the hotel. So if you run cold, shorts and a t-shirt are not going to be your friend. You're going to want some sort of sweatshirt, hoodie, blazer, whatever you got going on there. Otherwise, you want to have comfortable shoes because you're going to be doing a lot of walking, and just be ready. It's a lot of fun, but keep in mind it is a work trip that you're going to learn. You're going to meet folks from all over the place, and you're going to make lifelong friends at this event.
So, kind of to build off of that question, um, what is the dress code? Would you say is it business casual, or are there parts of the convention where you have to dress up kind of for?
The one thing that you really have to dress up for is banquet. You should if you don't have a suit, you should at least have a shirt and tie. It's not something you should wear a t-shirt and shorts or t-shirt and jeans to. Primarily, folks are in comfortable clothes, again, because you're gonna be doing a lot of walking, and you're gonna be doing a lot of sitting, running around, going from one room to another, so you wanna be comfortable. I know there are some folks, mostly in leadership, national leadership, that are typically in suits. I wear a blazer only because I think it would look funny, somebody my age running around in a hoodie, but I'm sure I've worn a hoodie with my podcast on it or something like that in the past. But a blazer or something like that is something that is helpful. Uh, you just don't want to look like are you skateboarding today, or are you attending something where you're going to be learning? It is a learning thing, and you should look reasonably presentable. Jeans are okay. I'm set to wear jeans most of the days. And obviously, like I said, on the banquet, a suit and tie, and hope that I don't get anything on it.
It's a great response. And thank you for that insight. So my next question, to kind of go along with what to wear, kind of backtracking a bit. So when you're traveling, do you have any tips for somebody who might be a first-time flyer to convention, or like airport travel hacks or anything like that? Even if it's not their first time, just their first time traveling to a convention with
I am
that
so
size.
I am so glad I got this question, because this is the one that I thought most about when Noor sent the agenda around. And I can't emphasize enough how much technology can help you get through an airport. I was traveling back in January, and I used the Meta glasses to help me around Philadelphia International Airport, going to Orlando, and then to get me out of Orlando International Airport, because it's a place that I've been, and I kind of know it, but I use the glasses. What's in front of me? Oh, there's a sign in front of me. What does that sign say? And it helped me get out into the taxi/rideshare area. So if you don't have a pair of the Meta Ray-Bans or the Oakley Ray-Bans or the new another Meta brand of glasses that just came out, was it Jenner, Kylie Jenner? You can use
I
Be
think
My
that's
Eyes on.
Meta, yeah.
Yeah, you can use Be My Eyes, Seeing AI. Keep in mind also that Ira is free in a lot of airports, and that's another service. If you don't have Ira on your phone, put it on your phone before you go. And Ira is one of those things where they have folks who are bonded and can help you get from point A to point B in an airport just by using your phone and the camera on the phone and getting you through. And again, it's live, so somebody can tell you, "Oh, no, it's right over there, go to your left and then walk straight," and so forth, whatever it might be. Ira is free on a lot of college campuses. Because the Keystone chapter meets at the Penn Museum, it's free at the Penn Museum because that's part of the University of Pennsylvania. So that's something to look into, and I don't know if it's in Pittsburgh's airport. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's in Philly International, but I'm always more comfortable using the Be My Eyes. I can't tell you the Meta Ray-Bans, how it helped me find the soft pretzel lady when I was going to Orlando, and that's very important to me to have a pretzel on the way there. Just very useful. Don't take any liquids that are more than 3.5 ounces. Harriet will tell you that she got stopped taking something that was more than that. And if you've heard the stories through the World Cup where where folks who have never had ranch dressing from Europe have been taking it in their carry-on bags, and the bottles are too big, so they have to take them out of the carry-on bags. If you're going to take something like that, put it in your checked bags. Um, Unfortunately, because of the amount of clothes that I take in blazers and stuff like that, I need more than a carry-on, so I have to check it. That's one thing. As far as checked bags go, get Apple AirTags if you have an iPhone, so that when you get off the plane, you kind of have an idea where your bag is. That's something that's very useful. If you have some sort of crazy sticker or something you could put on your bag, that if you have any kind of sight, you might be able to spot it, or could tell somebody, "Hey, I've got this really weird sticker on my bag. Can you tell me? Here's a picture of it." Maybe have a picture of your bag on your phone, so somebody can help you get your bag at the other end when we land in Austin. It's just things like that'll make it much more smooth to go through the airports. It's always going to be tough going through TSA. I always get a little bit annoyed when they want to take the cane away. They don't ask the person in the wheelchair to get up and walk through. So it's the cane is an extension of us, and they really shouldn't. That's a battle I usually don't pick or fight, but it is something that you may have to do. Just try to go with it and keep your cool. You're going to wait in lines for a lot of things, so just be patient and you'll get through it.
Thank you for that response. That's very insightful. And honestly, for a first time, I mean, I usually don't like travel with airports a lot, but I know they can be very overwhelming. I've never like been to the Philly one, but I can just guess. So, the next question I have here is, Kind of going back to the dress code, how would you describe the dress code for the convention throughout the week?
Again, for the dress code, it's casual. Jeans are fine. Again, a lot of folks in leadership will be in suits. Jeans, and again, I can't emphasize enough to wear something that if you get a little chilly, you have, whether you put it on the back of your chair or whatnot. Uh, Dress code is, again, dress shoes if you want, but I'll wear sneakers most of the week again because you're going to be walking and running, and when you're in the exhibit hall, especially when you're well, at our table, I usually don't sit down, so I'm standing. So I want comfortable shoes to stand in while I'm behind the table. Uh, it's something that just don't pick something outrageous for a t-shirt. Uh, Wear a t-shirt that has something that if you're going to wear a t-shirt that may be NFB related, and that's one thing I can also point out. The exhibit hall has a lot of great tech, but a lot of the affiliates do great t-shirts. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm wearing the NABS t-shirt from last year. I bought a couple of years ago I think it's the same color t-shirt from the NFB of Massachusetts that has a funny saying on the back. Everybody has great things like that to uh, to buy when you're in the exhibit hall. So you may want to pack a few a few shirts light and just pick up some shirts from the different places there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And you'd be supporting other local NFB chapters. So you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. My final question for you on here is, how would you describe which events to attend, and what apps do you advise people to use to stay organized and to view the agendas?
So there's a couple of things to keep in mind with the apps, and I already forgot the first part of your question, so I'll touch on the apps. The app for the event is outstanding. Um, just know that you'd asked about what events to go to. You're never going to be able to go to all the events. There's going to be multiple time conflicts with things you want to go to. You're just not going to be able to do it all. You've got to pick what you think is best and what you think is most important, whether it's something that is, I know, for example, over the last few years, I've been going to this fundraising one that Everett Bacon and Patty Chang have done. It has been huge in giving information on how to do certain things, how we in Pennsylvania now fundraise for our state convention. So I know that if that's running, I'm not going to go to something else that's running against it because that's what I want to be at. There's not like some conferences, they have videos of every event. That's not the case here. So the smaller things, you're going to have to pick and choose on what to go to. You can't get to everything. The app that is for the convention for me, is the best thing because you can plug in everything you want to go to, and it will give you reminders. Okay, you're in room XYZ at this hour. You have to run over there to get to it, and you better leave now, and so forth. You can always look at the agenda on the NFB website. You just go to nfb.org/convention. You'll find the agenda there, both in HTML. They have multiple formats there, but again, my go-to is the app. And once you get the app,
What's the app called?
it's NFB Convention or Conventions.
Okay.
I think it's NFB Convention. It's there in the App Store. If you are registered, once you're registered, once you go into the app for the first time, you put your name and your email address that you use to get your registration. They'll send a verification code to that email address. You plug that in, and then you're logged in and you're good to go. You can look at the different sessions day by day and hour by hour. It gives the room information. It gives the people who are presenting everything about it. It's one of the best things about the convention. And if you're not going in person, but you're registering virtually, that's one of the things that you can use as well. Now, some of the things when you're doing virtual, you're not going to get some of the smaller sessions that are not part of general sessions or resolutions or the board meeting and things like that. But the app will get you and remind you, hey, here's what's going on now, and you wanted to do it, go to that. And it's just something that I love, and it's obviously it's very accessible. I've been to conferences where the apps are not 100% accessible, so it's not that great. But obviously, this one is fully accessible, so for me it's a no brainer to use it.
It's great. And thank you so much for giving us all your insight. I mean, how many conventions would you say you attended? Probably like loads. So
No,
yeah.
not really. That you
Oh,
would think
really?
that. No, this is after, if I make it through this full one, that will be 4.5.
4.5. Okay. That's interesting. The half section over there.
There's a whole story behind the half, which I won't go into here. Everybody here has heard the story a million times and probably shaking their heads, rolling their eyes. But thanks, Leen.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll turn it over to our incredible PABS treasurer, Daud, and our incredible affiliate secretary, Harriet, for the next set.
So, my questions, this one probably overlaps with much of what we've already answered. But what is something that you wish you knew before you went to convention?
Hi, everybody. My name's Harriet Danner. What I wish I would knew before I went to convention. So I definitely wished that I knew how busy and how full my days were going to be. I wasn't ready for that. I remember Jimmy Antonacci, who was the immediate past president of the affiliate, told me, you got to go to this convention. It's great. You'll learn a lot. You will meet lots of people. And, you're gonna be talking to students. You're gonna be talking to professionals in your field, and and I really wanted to go, and I just didn't know that. In addition to that, there were so many other things that you could do too. Like there were um, besides the exhibit hall, there was a karaoke night. There used to be like a welcome to whatever state you're in dance, like welcome the times we had in Kentucky, so it'd be like welcome to Kentucky dance, or like welcome to Georgia. So there was like a lot of other things to do. There was also the sports and rec division always had something fun to do. It was just so much, and um I don't remember if the agenda was back in those days, if they had it online or not, but maybe they did. I don't remember, but I just remember early on in my days, like I would have to wait till I get there to see the Braille agenda. And, you know, I kind of like wish that I had known before. Like we're lucky today that we can see the agenda weeks before the convention, because we can plan out our days better and plan out what things we want to see, instead of say Tuesday morning, oh, well, what do I want to do today, and read your agenda, and there's like, oh my goodness, 7 different things that I want to go to. So that's one thing that I would definitely recommend is try to look at the agenda, especially since it is online. It is available in different formats, in Word and I believe MP3, and there's a Daisy file if you have like a note taker and with a braille display, or if you just want to look at it on your computer with JAWS or whatever you use, Fusion or NVDA. Definitely look at the agenda, pick and choose what things you want to go to, so you'll be more prepared to better plan out your days during the convention, and you're not wasting a whole lot of time planning for each day the night before. So that would be something that I really highly recommend, and wish that I knew, my first couple years of going to these conventions.
I've never been to the national one, and I imagine it's very, very large, but I've been to the state convention so far, and I know you do.
Yeah, so it's imagine the state convention agenda, but each day is like one day at state convention. It's 10 times as big for each day at national.
Do keep in mind that, like Harriet said, that the agenda is online. You can get access and take some notes and get it printed if you prefer large print. Awesome. Thank you for that. What is the most underrated part for you that you learned from at convention?
I would say the most underrated part is during general sessions, President Rick Bono gives what's called the presidential address.
Mhm.
It's usually the first general sessions day. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the afternoon. I think lately in the past couple of conventions, it's been like directly right at the beginning when the session opens up again in the afternoon on the first day. But that is definitely something that's underrated that more people should definitely sit in on and tune into if you're on watching the live stream. Um, President Rick Bono gives an overview of what the NFB is involved in, has overcome, is working to strive for. That's been going on in the past year. So he gives that's the presidential address, and so he gives a look at what the NFB has been involved in and where we are in different areas, like with our different bills that are currently in Congress, with technology, with legal battles that the NFB has been involved in. So he give it's a great way to learn about what the NFB work really is focusing on and where we are really putting a lot of our resources. It also gets us it's also very energizing for me anyway. I always feel like it's just amazing to look at where we've started and where we are along the way and how much we have to go. And it's very motivating also to hear how he's so positive and just to hear about what is left to be done and where our direction is that we're going and just to be a part of that. So that's really something that's very underrated that more people should be taking advantage of and learning from is from that presidential address.
That sounds incredible. I agree. I know I learned about how the NFB is working towards legalizing blind people to drive cars, and when I heard that the first time, I was like, "Oh, wow, that's so cool." So I definitely, yeah, I think that when they do the past, the present, and give a idea about the future,
Yeah.
we're headed towards. That's so awesome. Is there any advice you have about people who might be feeling apprehensive about such a huge event? Is there any
Yeah,
tips, any advice?
absolutely, absolutely. My biggest advice is if this is your first time or even your second time, connect to somebody that has been going to these conventions for a little bit, who knows what they're doing and who you can kind of buddy up with to help be your direct point of contact, somebody to kind of, um, you know, uh, you can buddy up with who wouldn't mind answering your questions, who wouldn't mind helping you throughout the day to day and helping you figure out, okay, what's this meeting about? Do I really need to go to this, or should I go to this meeting? Which one do you think is more beneficial? Someone that you can bounce ideas off, someone you can um, get advice from, who wouldn't mind helping you along the way. You mean like somebody to be your convention buddy? Maybe one or two of these types of people. I'm sure there's a lot of people if in the affiliate in our affiliate who wouldn't mind doing that, and I'm sure you can talk to your local chapter if you don't have a local chapter or your chapter's revitalizing. Is somebody else in the affiliate is definitely willing to help, and there's many of us have done it before and are always willing to lend a hand. And if you're not sure who would be a good convention buddy, reach out to Lynn or any of the chapter presidents and ask if there's anybody that could be paired with you to be like your convention buddy, someone to be your go-to person when you have questions about anything related to NFB or the convention.
Even in this student division of ours that we have, if you ever have any questions or anything, I know we have some people who have gone to national in the past, and I don't know if they'll be going this year or not, but they might have advice or have some links to connect you with. So yeah, thank you very much. Now I'm gonna give it back to Noor.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Going back to Noor, for any questions you guys, any of you, have in the meeting currently.
Well, incredible job, Dawood and Harriet and Lynn and Leen and David. I'm just so lucky to be part of such an amazing affiliate. Anyways, that was a lot of information. I know I was taking notes, but I'm sure you guys have a lot of really good questions as well. So this is our time to kind of open the floor for any questions you might have. As a reminder of NFB policy, say your name, wait to be called on, and then ask your incredible questions.
I was
Leen,
gonna
go ahead, Leen.
All right. Well, hi everyone. It's me, Leen, back again. So, as somebody who has not been to national convention yet, and hearing from what Harriet, David, and all like what Lynn said as well, the consensus is that like there's just so much to do. So, in you guys' expert opinions, you veteran convention goers, how do you feel it's best for somebody to divide up their time so they don't feel overwhelmed in convention and to go to all the like necessary events?
Harriet.
Yes, Harriet, go ahead.
Okay, so one thing that I learned to do could be either helpful or not so helpful, but sometimes people like to, especially the first 3 days. The easy part is the general sessions the last 3 days. So that's pretty easy. You know, there's not really that much to go to, but there's a lot of information on those 3 days because you're in general sessions all assembled together. But the first 3 days is when you have all the little breakout sessions, all the different interest NFB interest groups going on and things like that. So sometimes people can do is they can do what's called like meeting hopping. So let's say like the seminar about Amazon is at the same time the seminar about Target is going on. You know, they're both exactly the same times from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the same day. Well, what you could do is go to one of them, say the Target meeting first for an hour, and then the next hour you could jump to the Amazon meeting. So that's one way you could do it is to not get so overwhelmed and to try to get the most out of your day and try to get as much information as you can. But the backside to that is sometimes when you do that, you do lose information that you could have had if you went to just one meeting. So it's kind of like it's a trade-off. You know, do you want a little bit of a lot of information or do you want a lot of information about one thing? So that's something you can also do. My biggest suggestion is if it's your first convention, just try to hit the ones that you really want to go to the most because most often so, a lot of these companies they do come back. So maybe if you didn't get to hit the Target one this year, maybe next year go to the one about Target. So that's not always the case, but a lot of times there are repeat meet, and that's not the same meeting. You know, 2 years in a row. It's the same company, but obviously new and updated information for that year. So that's an advice that you know you could decide to do if you wanted to.
Amazing advice and amazing
Yeah, I
question.
think. Does anyone else have like their own version of the answer as well? I guess.
Just know this, you will be overwhelmed. There's no way around it. You will be, and like Harriet said, you've gotta pick what you really, really wanna do and just go in there. If you're in there for 15 minutes and you're thinking, "Why did I pick this one?" Then you could maybe bail, but if you're enjoying it, don't think about the others that you could have gone to. Just stick with it. You'll get out what you want, and it'll be helpful, and then next time around, you can go to the other one.
I'm imagining the obstacle that makes it so overwhelming is kind of the navigation, and this will depend on the person's vision. But is there any tips on navigation? Are there like maps? Are there I'm assuming the agenda has room numbers, so you just have to advocate for yourself on maybe asking a person where that room is. How does that look like?
So my biggest advice is, if you can, I mean, if you already booked your plane ticket, you can't do that anymore. But for next year, try to get to the convention a day early. So if it starts on the 3rd, you want to try to get there on the 2nd. So I'm getting there on the 2nd, and that's like not only a day to just check in, get unpacked, get settled into your room, but it's also a day to take advantage of and explore the hotel. So what I like to do is I like to, and in the Braille monitor too, there's also a description. The NFB always puts together a description of the hotel, which is very, very helpful, that I would recommend everyone read before they go to the convention. So it's in the, I believe it's in the July or the June issue of the monitor. They might have it in both, but they definitely have it in the July. So that's one thing. Look at that. But if you get there a day early before the convention actually starts, you can take the time to explore the hotel, and oh, that's where Salon A is, or oh, that's where the grand ballroom is. So you can get familiarized with the layout of the hotel, and you also have the description of the hotel in the back of your mind to use as a foundational guide, so that when the actual day comes for the meetings, you're not trying to learn the hotel as well as at the same time as finding your meeting rooms. You already know the hotel in general, but you're not spending so much time learning the hotel while you find the rooms.
So there's also in the back of the agenda, there is a description of the hotel and what is on the different floors. So you can also, check that out. Sometimes I've found it fun to buddy up with somebody, and, sort of go around the hotel and see, like Harriet was saying, take the time like that, the night of the 2nd, walking around, where is this, where is that? And that's actually very helpful. If you've already looked at the agenda and you have an idea what it is and where you want to go, you can find those particular rooms ahead of time. So you're not at the last minute, like rushing around. Oh my goodness, I can't find where I need to go.
What is some ways to financially help yourself get to the convention as a first-time person?
I'm thinking more in terms of while you're at the convention. There certainly are ways that you can get assistance. You can contact National if it's your first time. You can get money from Jernigan Fund. Pennsylvania offers assistance. So those are a couple ways that you can get to convention, but I'm thinking when you're at convention, know that it is very easy to spend money there. You're in a hotel, so you're gonna be spending a good chunk of money on your meals. I recommend that you get together with some people and go to the store and get some snacks and things like that. Because I know I'm not gonna be able to pack snacks, but if you get together with the people and go to the store, then you can go up to your room, take a break. I find I do that sometimes, and then have a snack, and then, maybe I'm not spending quite as much money on meals because, it'll add up pretty quick,
Mhm.
A lot of times it's great food, but you will spend some money. So, that's one tip I have is I don't know, I'm not sure if they have refrigerators in the rooms or not, but depending, you can get some snacks and make your money go a little farther.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Go for it, David.
I would reiterate that, and I hope that there are refrigerators in the room because I plan the first night there is to place an order to get some groceries, some berries, and things like that. Like Chip said, if you can, like I'll bring protein bars. That will probably be my lunches. Starbucks will probably be my breakfast. And again, that all adds up each day when you're there. The sandwich and the coffee or tea that you get there. As far as finding money, the Jernigan Scholarship for first timers is a good one if you've never gone. The affiliate does offer financial assistance. Some divisions and chapters also offer financial assistance. For example, if you have any desire somewhere along the line to be a blind vendor or blind entrepreneur, the Blind Merchants is paying the folks who requested it $300 for a convention. So make sure that for next year, if you want to go to national convention and you know that the merchants give out a little bit of a financial assistance, that's something you want to join. That $10 will stretch a long way if you get assistance, whether it's for national or state convention, or in the affiliates case, even Washington seminar. So those are some ways, and I can't agree with Chip more to either go to a store if there's one close by, or just do a grocery order through one of the apps that you like. And if there's a fridge in the room, you can get fresh fruit or salads or whatever you might want to have that's on hand. That would be certainly a lot cheaper than going out and doing that. I like the protein bars because it's 4 bites. It takes less than 3 minutes to eat, and for me, it's something that keeps me going for the afternoon. So that's something to keep in mind.
I want to pick back up on that. Like I said, you can get the kind of general for the first time goers. What I do a lot of times, I know is I put money inside every day. You know, you say you ask yourself that how much money do I waste a day? And you can say, well, I waste $5 a day. You can take half of that, put aside every day. So eventually that way, and if you multiply, say it was $2 a day, and you multiply that by 30, that's $60. And eventually that will add up, and that will help you pay for your trip to the convention. Also, along, like I said, you get the help to the federation, the Jernigan fund, if it's your first time. Like Chipman said, it's good to go out, maybe just to the store. I know there's stores around the hotel that you can buy what you need and take it to your hotel. I do the same thing. I buy snacks. I put it in my refrigerator, and every time I go between sessions, I go back to my room, get a snack, get something to drink, and I go to the next session.
How would you advise, like, this kind of relates to like younger travelers or first time travelers who have never like traveled outside, I guess, the state lines or on a plane by themselves, like without parents? Like, for example, me, like, how would you advise like parents who could be especially overprotective of like blind children or whatever to kind of allow their kids to really experience convention on their own for the first time? Like, what would you say to them, I guess?
I'll take that one on because we've had some young people in the past who, like you said, their parents were really concerned. And so before they would go, we'd have a conversation with the parent, let them know what's going on, spend time, at the beginning of the convention, maybe that, first day that you get there, going through the agenda, helping them find the rooms, also checking out the directions in the agenda for the hotel, which also tell you about restaurants in the hotel, places that you might want to get something to eat. Try and connect that individual with another young person. So, like, for instance, if there was a young person like you're describing, Leen, that's going this year, what I would do is I would say, hey, Noor, could you mentor this person, let them like sort of hang out with you and, show them the ropes. because Noor is going to take them to the student division meeting and the student functions and, to the exhibit hall. And she knows about resolutions and the board meeting and general sessions. And, it's a way of building the younger population, or the younger membership, I should say, within the affiliate. It also gives that young person a feeling of self-esteem, because when they get home, they can think about all that they've accomplished. And it truly is an accomplishment for a young person to come to convention for the first time by themselves. Harriet actually did that, as a young adult.
When my first convention was was like 19, um, and my parents were very, very overprotective, and they were scared, to say the least. That's for me to fly by myself and just to be in another state all by myself with nobody that I knew, and they didn't know what was going on, and so Lynn and Jim Antonacci actually they invited they had conversations with my parents, and they even invited them to come to a state convention before um the national convention. And I think after talking to Lynn and Jim, my parents were much more ready, like not ready, but maybe a little bit more not so resistant to let me go. And but they also understood that this was going to be a great opportunity, and it wasn't like they weren't going to let me go because of they didn't want that opportunity. They were just really hesitant to let me go and be on my own, and uh you know do things, um do something that big on my own. But then, they were reassured by, talking to the leaders like Lynn and Jim at the time, and, currently still Lynn. But, no, I remember, um, I was paired with, people from the affiliate who have done it before and who knew what they were doing, and, who could show me around. One of them was Carrie Sapalo, who, is, I don't know, he's somewhere running his own company, Independent Science, but, um, he was one of the people that, helped me around and saying, "Oh, this is the student division meeting, you gotta go to this," and, "This is resolutions, make sure you go to this," and, things like that, and it worked out great. And, when I came home and my parents saw how much I learned, and, wow, I came back in one piece, you know, they there was never any more questions about whether or not I could travel via airplane on my own again.
I think a lot of, I guess, blind youth could probably relate to this. I mean, definitely, like, my family, like, in previous years, but hmm, I think that NFB is definitely a very, like, good organization in that they don't just, like, do it for just the student, I guess. They even try to include families and try to reassure families by doing types of initiatives. How would you advise students or anyone going to convention to utilize it as an opportunity to kind of build their career?
When I was in college, I was majoring in education because I wanted to be a teacher. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I still want to do that now. But um, which I am doing. Um, but the NFB, because the NFB has so many special interest groups, like there's the blind lawyers, there's the blind office professionals, blind computers and science, blind government workers, blind engineers, blind musicians, so many different special interest groups. And I found the National Organization of Blind Educators, which is a division of the NFB, And since my first convention, I've been going to their meetings every year, and it's really been such a huge benefit, not only to meet other teachers who are blind and doing what I wanted to do, and it's also been um, a way to just meet people and stay in touch with people who are in your profession and who are doing what you want to do. And it's kind of come full circle now because I'm on the board of the blind educators, and I help mentor other prospective educators who are interested in becoming teachers. So it's really fueled my career in the sense that I've had people to look up to and have had people to answer my questions, and now I'm giving back and helping the next generation of people who are interested in becoming teachers and giving them advice and helping them with their questions. So in both of those sense, it's really um, been such a great benefit to my career, and also help me to strengthen my professionalism by giving back to others.
Thank you for that response. It's really, and I think anyone who's going to the convention for the first time really needs to like learn about the different affiliate organizations that can help with their like professional development.
Excellent transition, Leen. Thank you so much for that. So I will kind of close us out here. I really do appreciate everyone attending, everyone's amazing questions, and I just wanted to shout out a couple of things. So as we know, this is a collaboration between the Pennsylvania affiliate as well as the student division of the Pennsylvania affiliate. So if you are or know a student and you would like to get involved with us, please reach out. You can either reach out to me, you can reach out to David, who will put you in touch with me, or you can reach out to the PABS email. Another thing, if you are coming to National and you are a student, it really, like, one of the most fulfilling experiences for me was joining the National Student Division. So I highly recommend. There's two events. There's the business meeting, which is on Saturday night, and there's the networking, which is on Friday night. So check us out. We're cool. Not as cool as Pennsylvania affiliate, of course, but still cool. I really appreciate everyone attending, and I will see all of you next week.
Thank you, everyone.